welcome to the Mile High webinar with Dr. Daniel Knowles and Dr. Liam Schubel. And I'm very excited to have you all join us for this event. And Mile High is coming up August 22nd to 24th, just outside the Mile High city, Denver, Colorado. And you can register for it at www.milehighchiro.org. And we have one of the highlighted, celebrated speakers at Mile High with us today, and he is a dignitary to chiropractic. He has several offices around the world. I can't keep count anymore. He's a best-selling author. I think he's going to be on the New York Times bestseller list pretty soon, and he's getting there. There you go. And he is at everything in chiropractic that is to be at, that's worthwhile to be at. On the Sherman College Board of Trustees, as well as a very important leader within the IFCO organization. And I don't know if I've left anything out of his accomplishments, and if I did leave anything out, I'm sure he will add to them right now if I forgot something. Dr. Liam Schubel.
Thank you, Dr. Danny Knowles. A pleasure to be with you here on the Mile High Connect call. I have to tell you, I'm down here in Dallas, Texas, enjoying the weather, enjoying the spiz of the chiropractic students down here and the chiropractors of Texas. And it's a pleasure to be on the call with an eminence like yourself, Dr. Knowles, radically transforming and evolving the planet with chiropractic. And that's what I'm about. That's what I'm into. So that's why I'm here with you, Danny.
And I do know it's a pleasure for you to be here with me. So
Hey, past cannolis. Okay, here we go.
No, actually, today is day 6 of the sugar detox. So from the cannolis.
And well, better you than me. Okay?
Yeah. And if you missed that, you want to watch IFCO TV because that was one of the best episodes ever.
It certainly was. Dr. Frank Hahn puts a top-notch show up there, and to see you and Steve Tullius, and then watch as you ate cannolis, watch Dr. Frank Hahn and Steve Tullius babysit you was absolutely fantastic. And always to hear Peter Kevorkian's laugh is, worth the price of admission.
I only go to chiropractic events to hear Peter Kevorkian's laugh. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of this, and I want to ask you a very important question because you've been inspirational to many, many chiropractors, and a quote that Reggie shared and was famous for sharing and I know Reggie was very inspirational to you and to myself as well, is where there is no vision, people perish. And one of the things I associate with you personally is vision. I think that you have done an incredible job of connecting to your vision and helping inspire others' vision. And so where does that stem from, and how do chiropractors really grow their vision?
Well, I think vision is crucial, and I think many people shoo the idea of vision. That's this grandiose thinking, that's not for me. I really need practical information, to run my life. But if I could quote from my smash hit book, Cast to Be Chiropractors, the opening line here, I think is absolutely brilliant. And it's something that I like to discuss very often with people that are looking to have a bigger and better life, a more abundant life. And there's a quote right here in the beginning of this book, smash hit book, Cast to Be Chiropractors. It goes like this: the bigger the vision, the bigger the life. The bigger the vision, the bigger the life. Dr. Liam P. Schubel, chiropractor, author of smash hit book, Cast to Be Chiropractors. Jokes aside, I hang out with some of the most wealthy, some of the most successful, some of the most joyful people on the planet, Danny. And that's, one of the reasons I love hanging out with you and hanging out with people in the IFCO is life should really be a celebration. And one of the things I note with people that are celebrating life and are living abundantly is one of the things that draws them together and gives them a commonality of greatness is living for a vision that's bigger than themselves. In other words, I know you're like this, Danny, and this is certainly like me. I get up in the morning. I can't wait to get to the office. And actually, when I have to leave, I'm like, no, just one more thing. I'm passionate about this move towards a vision greater than myself. I'm driven to leave an impact, to be significant on this short period of time that I've been blessed to be on this planet. And we as chiropractors have been blessed with this gift that is crucial to the transformation and evolution of the planet. We're the only doctors in the world that are highly trained to detect, analyze, and adjust these vertebral subluxations that limit the body's ability to heal and express itself optimally on the planet. So we're crucial. And I think we need to start getting a bigger picture about how crucial that we are, because I see so many chiropractors that are walking around with a low self-esteem. And of course, a low self-esteem starts to breed poverty. You know, I'm reading a book to my kids right now. It's a comic book form of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And they talk about having a chief definite aim. They talk about living for something bigger than yourself. You know, these are principles of abundance. Just like the chiropractic has 33 principles, principles always rise to the top, and they always lead to abundance and success when you apply the principles. Well, the principles of success in life out of Think and Grow Rich is to have a vision greater than yourself. And one of the visions that I like to adopt, Danny, is this idea that, and I imagine this every day, if you could imagine if it wasn't like the way it was right now, the planet with, as far as it relates to healthcare. I mean, can you imagine if when, you know, you were talking about somebody's children, you said, you know, I'm going to be a new father here. Tell me a little bit about what I should do to take care of my children, because I love my children. I want the best for them. You know, and now the conversation would be, oh, well, you certainly have to get them vaccinated. Well, then you'd have to take them for the pediatrician. You know, whenever they have, you know, some kind of infection, you'd have to give them antibiotics. If you love your children, these are the things that you do, right? Take them to McDonald's frequently. You know, these are the things that you have to do if you love your children.
Give them cannolis.
Give them cannolis. But, I mean, can you imagine if the conversation was like this? Hey, you know, I'm going to be a new father. What kinds of things should I be doing because I love my children? What should I be doing? Well, you got to take them to the chiropractor. I mean, how on earth would you allow your kid to go through life with their power source disconnected from the start of life? I mean, that's insane. That's a ravage of the beauty of what is the innate expression of a child. And so, you know, this is where we're talking about with the vision. We want it to go to a level where every man, woman, and child on the planet is checked for vertebral subluxation and adjusted when necessary from birth. That's the kind of world I would like to live in. And while I'm on the planet, the action steps that I take are geared towards bringing that about. Now, you know, as Martin Luther King said, I might not make it there with you, you know, but I've been to the mountaintop. You know, I've seen the other side. And that's how I live my day in and day out. You think Martin Luther King never was able to see the breaking down of these Jim Crow laws and the, you know, and the factuality of, at that time, African Americans were officially second-class citizens. So he never got to see it, but while he was on the planet, he did everything that he could to bring about that vision. And some might have called him crazy, some might have, you know, made insults on him, and, you know, we're used to that. As we lead in the profession, all the attacks come from behind, you know? Right. Instead of support, you know, everybody's very quick to say all the things that we're doing incorrect, rather than, you know, stepping up and helping us do things better. And that's, you know, one of the reasons I'm very excited, Danny, that you started Mile High, is to bring a bigger vision, to bring a bigger understanding to the responsibility that we have as doctors of chiropractic to truly up our game. You know, one of the things is God, or whoever you want to believe in, they give you responsibility, or sorry, they give you these tremendous blessings in life, which is like chiropractic. You look at your kids, you know, my kids, I can't even imagine what their lives would be like if they weren't, you know, checked and adjusted from birth. That in itself is such a huge blessing. And with those blessings, I think God gives you also the responsibility to step up and up your game and get that message out to the world. And so I know what Mile High is about. I know what Schubel Vision is about, is reaching out to doctors and students and giving them real-world content tools that they can use to apply these principles of abundance in their lives, and in that form make a bigger impact on the communities they serve. That in essence, you know, is what I think my life is about, and I know that's where you're going to as well, Danny, Dr.
Well,
Noel.
and the more people, the less they focus on their problems, which are a distraction, or focus on themselves and focus on others, what they have to give, and their vision, the better they do.
You know, one of my favorite quotes is from Dr. Donald Epstein, and he had a quote that he says, "You know what the cure to depression is?" And he says, he didn't say, he said do stuff, you know, and he didn't say stuff. It was another
He
word.
used another word.
Right, but you know that was so impactful for me. I've suffered at times from depression because I get down and thinking, oh, how crappy this is, how crappy that is, and and I've always every once in a while, then Donnie will come into my mind, and I'll go, okay, get up and do something, you know. And as soon as I start to take action, the depression goes to the wayside, and the things actually start to change. And it's like Gandhi said, you got to be the change that you wish to see in the world. And one of the things I like about going to Mile High or, Schubel Vision is that you're hanging out with doctors that are expressing life on a higher level than you. And that just has a tendency to bring you up. And especially when it's combined with real world content. I mean, these people are in the trenches every day. They're involved in chiropractic, and they have the tools, tips, and strategies that you really do need to bring yourself around. Because let's face it, in the schools, and this is, of course, I'm not saying this because I'm on the board of trustees at Sherman College of Chiropractic, but my friend Judd O'Grady, who's the author, the co-author of this smash hit book, Has to Be Chiropractors, he often says that in the schools right now, the students are not learning what it is that they need to learn to be successful in practice. And that is a tragedy. I mean, if you're going to invest $200,000 worth of money into your education or more, you would think that you would get the tools and strategies that you need to be successful. Sadly, this is what Judd O'Grady says, is that the educational system is teaching a strategy to be successful in the 80s and 90s insurance market, where it was very important to be a primary care physician so that you could bill the heck out of an insurance plan. That's not the case right now. In a cash-based environment, and that's where we're moving if you want to be successful in chiropractic, you have to be able to explain the value of chiropractic. And that's a very tough thing to do, Danny, as you know.
Absolutely.
If you've never given the tools as to, I interview doctors from all over the world. They don't know, many fresh graduates out of school, brother, they don't know who they are, what they're doing, or why. And they certainly don't have the personal power, as Tony Robbins would say, to express that why to the practice member and inspire that practice member to have an emotional shift and then move into the action realm where they bring their kids into you. They start telling their friends about you and your vision for a better world, which is, a world where everyone's checked and adjusted, when necessary from birth with chiropractic.
And I've got to tell you this, that is why I love going to events like Scott Garber's event, like your events, like Mile High, New Beginnings, so many others, because it's not a bunch of people that are there to sell you something, but they're there to uplift you and help you be a better practitioner and help you get the few clicks on the dial that you need to get to your next level, because we all want this thing called chiropractic to rise. And I want to ask you something about that. Can I see that book? What's that book again? Can you show that?
Yeah, I don't like to talk about it that much, but if you insist, I'll bring it back up. It's Cast to Be Chiropractors. You can get it on Amazon.com right now, and it's very convenient to purchase. And I got to tell you, the story behind this, Danny, is when you read this book, what the common thing that I get is, oh my goodness, I went up 100 visits. It'll give you sometimes it'll bring out within you, because it's in you already. It'll bring out the inspiration that you need to get on fire, because that's how people say, how are you passionate all the time? How do you constantly, I did a talk last night in Dallas at Epoch. I totally rocked it. Danny, I had an hour and a half worth of sleep. It's like, how do you operate on an hour and a half worth of sleep? I got to tell you, when you're passionate, when you're on fire about what it is that you do, you can move mountains. And that's what this book is about, is how do you get to the level in chiropractic where you're producing day in and day out on a high level and not get beat down? There you go, right there. That's but Danny,
yeah, absolutely. Now I want to ask you about, in just a moment, I want to ask you about Schubel Vision, about your program. I want to ask you about that. Before I ask you about that, I have something I want to show you. I want to show you. I know you had a lot of accolades over the years.
Yeah.
This is one that I got. This was this lighthouse I got from the
I like
NASA
that.
Alliance, right? Yeah. And then I got this one from Sherman. It's the Spirit of Sherman Award.
Nice, Danny.
So I want you to see that. That's good.
That's
and
great.
I also got this Mile High Vision Award. I got the first one, the first ever Mile High Vision Award. This has to get locked up. because it's very valuable.
I think it should be locked up with you, Danny.
Yeah. And I also have this one that I got. This was one of the early ones I got as a Sherman student. And that's picture, I'll put it up real close. That's picture of me with Reggie. And Reggie's scratching his head because what I'm sharing is so brilliant that he can't figure it out.
That's what I assumed when I saw the picture.
Well, yeah, because I was communicating at such a level
Of course.
that even Reggie had to really think about it. So,
well, good. You kind of caught me off guard there, Danny, because of course I'm not in my element. I'm here in Dallas, Texas. If we wanted to share awards, we'd be here for the next 3 hours if I.
So now Schubel Vision, tell people the dates that are coming up. What dates are left this year?
Right. So we're in Dallas now, coming up May 30th to May 31st.
Okay.
And I will say this: I don't know when do you think this interview is going out, Danny? Any idea?
Probably within a week. So it'll be out before your Dallas event.
Yes, so I would say this: get online right now and register, because you're going to save. If you wait till the last minute, you still will welcome me in. But why would you want to pay more for something so wonderful? The other thing is we are going to be in Spartanburg, the Center of All Chiropractic.
Spartanburg.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, we will be there July 11th and 12th, and then we will be in San Francisco October 10th and 11th. I like to call it Frisco, which is kind of like somebody taking their nails and going down the chalkboard to people that live out there. So we're going to be at Frisco.
Well, if you're from New York, that's what you say. And
that's what I do.
Yeah.
and very excited. Next year we are going to be doing Schubel Vision. We're moving international. We're going over to Europe, and we are going to be bringing our message to most likely Barcelona and Amsterdam next year. So what we found with Schubel Vision. Again, and the thing that prompted this whole thing, Danny, was the level of chiropractic graduates from the schools right now. I've been interviewing, as you mentioned, I have 16 chiropractic offices, and I'm constantly interviewing. I employ close to 30 chiropractors. I'm constantly interviewing chiropractors from around the world, like fresh graduates out of school. And what I'm seeing in most schools, these students, they don't know who they are, what they're doing, why. And sadly, the number one key to success in chiropractic is your ability to communicate chiropractic, and they've never been given those tools, tips, and strategies on how to communicate effectively. And so what we've decided to do with Schubel Vision, the old style of chiropractic seminars has been you have one centralized location and people come to that, and that's working, but what we're trying to do, especially with the students, is bring it to them. In other words, we're coming to your community. And we want to take out all the excuses. I'm from New York, New Jersey, so it's like, I want to make you an offer you can't refuse. That kind of, the
you had a little bit of a Crazy Eddie look to that. You remember Crazy Eddie?
Crazy Eddie, yeah. Our prices are insane if you look on the website. But the idea is this: we're gonna if they're not going to teach it in the schools, well, then we're going to bring it to the students. And we are certainly committed to empowering this next generation that's going to take over TIC. And some of the key points that we have in communication, Danny, is number one, how to communicate. Number two, the why behind that, the mindset. And then number three, the action steps and procedures that you need to do to be successful in chiropractic. And then number four is, and I heard in your phenomenal interview the other day in the IFCO, that quote from Tom Gilardi, your professional rent is paid through joining national and state organizations. And so we're trying to develop a consciousness, a new consciousness with when somebody says, I'm a chiropractor, I'm a person who's dedicated to transforming and evolving the planet. It's not just about my office. It's about something bigger. And sadly, I see that so often is doctors are killing it in their own practices, but they're not involved politically. And then their practice is shut down because they weren't involved politically, and some other guy who was involved politically that is a diametrically opposed agenda where they look at more chiropractors coming out as some kind of competition for musculoskeletal treatments. They come in and you get called in front of a board, right? And the board says, hey, listen, I want to find out why you were taking these x-rays. And the person says, well, I'm a Gonstead practitioner. I'm trying to get the listings for the subluxation. And the board member says, the state board says, I'm sorry, did you say you're taking care of Haitians? What are you talking about? Like, what is this word? Subluxation? What is that? Doctor, don't you know you're only allowed to take x-rays for pathology, a
Oh,
medical
and
knowledge.
I've had countless stories that I've heard like that of people or board members say, what is a listing? And of course, these are the people, like, what is, I never heard of a listing. What is that? And of course, these are the people that are regulating our licenses. Yet, they would be, in my eyes, deficient in their ability to locate, analyze, and correct vertebral subluxations if they don't know what a listing is. So they're deficient in that area, but they're holding our licenses hostage.
Well, and that's the thing. The future of our profession is allopathy if we continue down the road of antipathy, or what was it? Just not doing anything. Apathy. That's the
Yeah,
word.
some big word that somebody that wears an ascot would use.
That's right. I just had a momentary conflagration there going. But on that word of boards, I look at, like, I have Mother Teresa as one of my idols, and then I have your wife, Dr. Knowles, your beautiful, phenomenal wife, who's absolutely a genius on, Rochelle on the Colorado State Board. We're so excited that somebody like there actually understands chiropractic, and is able to express the chiropractic viewpoint to the lay people, to the governor, to the people that run our lives. And so, if you're apathetic, you're going to be practicing allopathetic.
Right.
And you guys are examples, Danny and your wife, Rochelle, you guys are examples of people that not only talk the talk, but they're walking the walk. And again, talking about the vision, can you imagine what this world would be like is if every state board was dominated by people that, that weren't into destroying other chiropractors. Listen, however you want to practice, go ahead and practice. But, that we're into ensuring that if you want to practice pure chiropractic, it's legal.
Well, here's the thing. I really think protecting public safety is part of a board's mission.
Good.
And how better to protect public safety than ensure that people have the ability to get their spinal subluxations addressed? Because if they don't have their spinal subluxations addressed, that is the antithesis of public safety, because then the roads aren't safe, our schools aren't safe, we're not safe anywhere when people are subluxated.
That's exactly right. And sadly, those boards have created, in many times, so many obstacles to getting the public check for vertebral subluxation. So many of the doctors of chiropractic that practice, subluxation-centered chiropractic are spending most of their time defending themselves, rather than being in a growth and promotional phase. And so, again, you asked me about Schubel vision, and I know that Mile High is the same ball game. Is how is it that we can empower and strategize with the next generation of chiropractors so that they say, obviously, if you're into chiropractic and you want to ensure its survival and thrival, you have to be involved in state boards. You have to be involved in the political process. Whether it's you personally stepping up and doing it, not everyone has those skills like, your celebrated wife, Dr. Rochelle Knowles. Not everybody has her skill set. But, hey, listen. Each and every one of us can afford, I know for students it's $50 for their whole chiropractic student career to join the IFCO. So look, if you're not going to do it, at least fund the people that are going to do it, so that when we have to go to Washington, D.C., or when we have to testify in front of state boards, we have the finances and the resources available to make big things happen for you, and for what's more important, frankly, than you, is the people that we've been blessed to serve while we're on this planet.
Well, and here you go. Here's the big thing. The best revenge we can have is to be super successful.
Exactly.
And then the more, chiropractic, we have to thrive in the philosophy, in the science, in the art, in the business, in the politics, and in the education. All of those things we have to thrive in as a team of chiropractors that want to change the world.
Well, and that's just it. And one of the things I love about the network crew is, this idea, I love this phrase, taking your power back,
Yeah.
and I just love that. That's, to me, what we're doing in chiropractic right now, Danny. I think that's one of the reasons the IFCO is growing so fast. That's one of the reasons I think Sherman College is growing so fast. That's one of the reasons Mile High and Schubel Vision is growing so fast. Garberfest is growing so fast, is because doctors of chiropractic are starting to step up. It's kind of like, I remember, again, hearing Donnie say, you're never going to change your paradigm until you've failed miserably enough in the current one that you're in. And we're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. We're sick and tired of being beat down and frustrated and depressed. And I think finally we've had enough pain where we're willing to step up and start to do things. And I think events like what you're putting on, and again, Schubel Vision, Garberfest, these are things that are truly transforming and evolving the mindset of chiropractors and the skill sets of chiropractors in order to empower them to serve at a higher level and really bring this vision to fruition.
Well, I'm very honored and blessed that someone of your stature,
yeah, it's true,
would take their precious time to be on this webinar with me, and also to come out to Colorado and be at Mile High and present to the lucky people that get to hear you, and that the people that at your events at Schubel Vision, that you take your time to give back to do that, because you certainly don't need to do that.
No.
You could sit in New Jersey and hang out with your family, but
Yeah.
you have a vision to see this thing continue to grow. And so I really want to acknowledge you for taking those steps and continuing to do that.
Well, thank you, Danny. It's a great pleasure, and again, anything I can do to serve, that's what I'm here for, and I appreciate the opportunity to be with you certainly today.
Well, and I look forward to seeing you at a Schubel Vision event. I look forward to seeing you at Lyceum.
Yes.
And Sherman
May 1st to
Lyceum.
3rd.
Yeah, coming up. And I also look forward to seeing you at Mile High, August 22nd to 24th, and www.milehighchiro.org. And I want to tell you a little secret. So people that did stay with us, and I don't know why you would go. I know this wasn't cannoli energy, but but I'll tell you a secret. DIA, if you've been there, DIA is adding on, attached to the airport, a convention center as of 2015. And so that means in 2000, when we explode Mile High to the level that it will be this year, we can, in the 2015, book the convention center. So when people fly in from around the world to Mile High, they won't have to do ground transportation because it will be attached to the airport.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, that's going to be fantastic.
Well,
and they have great restaurants there in the airport. By the way, you're fueled by cannolis. I'm fueled by pepperoni and bacon pizza this morning. This was great.
Well, thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you real soon, Dr. Schubel, and keep changing the world.
All right, I love you, Dr. Knowles. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I look forward to seeing everybody at Mile High, August 22nd to 24th. I'm going to be there. You better be there, too. Make it happen.
Amen.